Welcome to the Divas Corner Talk Show. Thank you for tuning in with your number one host, Diva Sheeta. We are in the building with Sean Anthony this evening. He is my guest, and we are going to be talking about motivational speaking.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining me this evening. So, I wanted to go over as we go out of the 2017 year into 2018 some of the top sites that are being looked at for motivational speaking in 2018 so that people can keep aware of what's going on out there and how to empower and inspire each other. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm definitely into empowering and speaking light and positivity into the universe as well as my spiritual beliefs. I won't get all into that because I don't like to force that on people,
Right.
but definitely a spiritual person. And so I do thank you for joining me this evening. I also am going to do an interview with Sean Anthony. It's not going to be too many questions, just probing the mind of a successful broadcaster slash on air personality. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, Sean?
Well, I think that's it. That's good enough. I'm a radio personality, businessman, entrepreneur, radio, television, music production, entertainment. Been in that industry for over 20 years.
20 years. Tell us some of the fabulous places that you've worked.
The great Buckeye State, Buckeye City, of course, Columbus, Ohio, Philadelphia,
Wow.
South Jersey. That's where I grew up.
My dad
Detroit,
is from Jersey.
yeah.
What part?
South Jersey, Camden.
My daddy's from Newark. I've been trying to get down there. I've got to go and
Newark
visit.
is up north. That's North Jersey towards New York. I grew up across the bridge from Philly,
Okay.
so that's South Jersey. Detroit and D.C., Richmond, Virginia as well.
Well, I know in the school, a lot of students really are inspired by the work you do. You have a really profound presence that you build with the rapport of the students. And so I got to ask you, especially when we're talking about motivational speaking and empowering other people, what gives you the passion to do what you do? What gives you the drive?
Hmm. When it comes to here at the school,
Yeah. Just what made you want to be a teacher or instructor? What gives you the passion to continue to inspire and empower other people to be great and successful like you with 20 years?
well, it all goes back to at the beginning of my career. When I first got into the business, I was 16 years old in radio, and someone took me under their wings and showed me the ropes and uh, was able to teach me fundamentals in broadcasting that I still utilize to this day. And it was because of that person, that mentor of mine, who's still my mentor to this day, took the time to pour into me. I always made it a point to reciprocate that throughout my career. So as I began to grow and flourish within my career, I would notice other people coming in, younger people coming in the industry, and I would just felt led. I would feel led to share whatever insight, experience, wisdom, or any knowledge, anything that I could pass on to the next person, so that they can become successful and develop their own brand and come into their own. So it started with that, and then I just kept doing it. I kept mentoring people all throughout my career in all the different cities that I worked in. And then what was really awesome is when you're able to pour to someone, then watch them grow and expand and become successful. That's gratifying. You know what I'm saying? That's rewarding. So how I got into teaching, quick story. About a year ago, I was brainstorming in Richmond, Virginia, came up with this idea to create a curriculum that I was going to propose as a consultant under my company to consult these other broadcasting companies to teach the new hires on air personalities, just basic fundamentals of radio. Because in the industry, as it has evolved and changed over the years, I've noticed that there's not really a lot of training going on in radio because it's all corporate now. A lot of these companies have bought multiple stations in different markets, and it really hasn't been that hand-on experience like it was when I first got into radio. And so I came up with this idea to come up with this curriculum to, pitch to different radio companies. And I called up one of my old teachers, who I've stayed in contact with, my radio and television teacher in high school, who I remained in contact with throughout my career. I hit her up. I said, Miss G, this is my idea. This is what I came up with. Give me your feedback. Give me your raw critique on it. Rip it up and tell me what you think. The next day, she called me back and she's like, Sean, you should teach. I'm like, Miss G, that ain't what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do some business here. I'm trying to make some money. Ain't that much money in no teaching. I'm trying to create another stream of income. And she's like, well, you would be great, because I would always go back and speak to her class and to her students all throughout my career. I would always go back and talk to her students. So she knew what kind of, how I was as a speaker. She started looking up charter schools. There's charter schools in Richmond, because I was in Richmond at the time.
Right, I remember you saying that.
And she was like, I'm looking online. There's charter schools there. There's broadcasting schools all in Virginia. There's some here, but you're in Virginia. You should teach this. I'm like, Miss G, all right. I mean, I'm open to it, And I took into consideration. Long story short, she said, call this person. I called that person. That person put me in contact with Alvis. Alvis put me in contact with Stowe.
Okay.
And I had the conversation with Stowe. Then I remembered my homie Burrs, who's an instructor here. Me and Burrs went to school together. I'm like, Burrs, I'm considering coming back to Columbus. I would like to do some teaching part-time. He said, man, don't even worry about it. I'm texting Stowe right now. This is what he told me. So long story, that's
the job.
Yeah, I got the job. I got in it. So that's how I got here to teaching. And then real quick too, last year I took a really extensive test on your spiritual gifts.
Okay.
With my men's ministry that I was one of the leaders for back in Richmond. And this test is really extensive. It's long. It's very thorough. It asks you a lot of questions, but it breaks down.
Kind of like an APGAR test, if you think about it, for college.
Absolutely. But for the spirituality.
Right.
I know you say you want to test spirituality, but I can't.
love talking about
I'm a double dutch up in that joint, you know what I'm saying? But I took this test and it was able to show me what my spiritual gifts were. And to my surprise, and it breaks it down in order, like you'll have like certain spiritual gifts that are tied with one, and then it'll be like two and then three. So like my first 2 or 3 spiritual gifts for number one was knowledge, the spirit of knowledge, the gift of knowledge, and the gift of teaching.
Okay.
And then second was wisdom and exhortation, which I didn't understand what it was at that time, but after I did the research and got the understanding of it, and that's encouraging people. That's like, the gift of building people up and stuff like that. So it all kind of
naturally flows
together.
together.
And then once I realized what my spiritual gifts was, I'm like, wow, I never knew that I had the gift of teaching, even though when I look back in my life and my career, that's all I've been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You just been doing
I've been calling it as a mentor. I've been calling it as it was not in the structure setting, in the school setting like it is today, but it was more or less just being a mentor or a big brother to a lot of people.
And that's what we need nowadays out here. So I know I enjoy your class. I enjoy you as an instructor. What is something that you wish for your students to know as they move forward in their broadcasting careers and venture out towards their goals that they have set? What would you want that person to know?
Well, nothing is given. Determination. There's certain things that can't be taught. We can teach. I remember one of my old program directors said this early in my career, and it stuck with me. It stuck with me. He said, "Man, we can teach a monkey to run the boards. We can teach anybody to run this technical equipment. Anybody can learn it if you want to. But the intangibles are the things that can't be taught. The determination, the will, um,
Integrity.
the passion, the integrity, those things that can't be taught. So one of the things that I would say is just to be assertive, take initiative, drive, go for what you want. If there's something you want, go get it. It's not going to just fall into your lap. There's certain things, there's certain principles in the universe that apply for things to attract to you. You can't just stand there and not do anything. There has to be some sort of action to take place. So, just take an initiative, going after what you want.
So basically, you follow your dreams and do it wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. Follow your dreams.
That's exactly what I'm working for. God knows my heart when it comes to that. So I want to get into a couple of these 25, and I'm going to go backwards actually. I got them listed 1 through 25, but I think I want to go from the back to the front. And so there's a man, his name is Scott H. Young, and that's the name of his motivational blog. It covers goal setting, productivity, health, entrepreneurship, learning, and life philosophy. It's last on the list, but like they said, it's far from being least. So don't think about the particulars when it comes to that. And this information is available on www.wealthygorilla.com, where they are listing the top 25 best motivational blogs for you to pay attention to 2018. I'm also venturing off into my own career. It's leaning towards motivational speaking. So in radio and broadcasting, it's going to be called WDEN, Aspire Radio and TV, because I want people to aspire to be great. And the WDEN is Women's Digital Entertainment Network. So it's not going to be only a women's network, but I do want to focus on women mostly and women's issues, and I'm hoping to move forward in that. I worked on my website today.
Good.
And created my Facebook page. So if you didn't see that earlier, please go through my Facebook pages, subscribe and like, accept the invite for WDEN, Aspire Radio and TV, and visit wealthygorilla.com so you can learn more about Scott H. Young. His blog covers, like I said, goal setting, productivity, health, entrepreneurship. If you're really looking forward to moving in with your own business, it's 2018, so I know a lot of us are getting real tired of the redundant cycle. It gets very exhausting. You go to work, you come home, you get a paycheck, and at the end of the day, you're working for someone else. You can't really guarantee what's going to happen. And people often feel like it's not like back in the older days where you went and you worked for a company for 25 years and they had this loyalty and these unions to protect you. Your job is not protected. You get sick and you run past the FMLA time, they're going to replace you. So it's time to start having that entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the things I definitely wanted to look into. That's number 25. Number 24 is a website called Motivational Memo, and it's founded by a guy named Peter G. James Sinclair. It says it's one of the rare motivational blogs backed up by many years of experience in business and writing. 25 years to be precise. So if you're looking for posts in categories such as leadership, wisdom, and wealth, Peter's the guy to go to. That's kind of like what you've been doing for your whole life. You think about it, you just haven't carried the title of specifically doing it.
Yeah, what you saying, leadership?
Yeah,
Hmm.
leadership, wisdom, wealth. I mean, at the same point in time, you have to be successful and provide for your family and be able to motivate and inspire other people. And that really makes it pay off when you can actually take care of your families and provide and do something that you love to do. And that's part of the reason why I jumped into radio
Absolutely.
because I have a passion for speaking and teaching and inspiring. But I aspire myself to provide for my family. So I want to be able to utilize these resources and give a voice to those who don't have one. But I got to eat too.
That's right. Yeah, you have to.
Number 23 on the list is Zen Habits. So, Zen Habits is founded by Leo Babuta. And Zen Habits separates itself from what's now known as traditional type of blog by including only one post on the home page. There are no ads, no fancy designs, just pure content. And it's been regarded as one of the best self development blogs on the internet.
Hmm.
One step at a time.
That's all you got to do. You know,
Wow.
when my friend, one of my friends, he's an entrepreneur as well. That's something that we always talk about. Is, you know, look, you can travel from here to New York, whether it be a plane, train, automobile, or you walk. Either way, you got to take one step at a time, just one day at a time.
And I like the idea and concept of what he's actually doing. Because sometimes people get on the internet and they're not tech savvy.
Mm.
And they got all these different links and pop ups and it's distracting. You go looking for one thing and you end up doing something completely different. So his website, Zen Habits, allows you to just go directly to the motivational uplifting post, receive what you need to receive from the content and move on. And sometimes that's what you need. So that'd be a great place to sign up for a newsletter just to receive that daily content every day of something different to empower you. Number 22 on the list is Fearless Motivation. So it's considered one of the best motivational blogs founded by Nick Macri. Fearless Motivation is a great hub for motivational speeches. They have over 4 million views on YouTube and a ton of great motivational content to check out. Do you have a lot of material on YouTube?
I do, yes. My channel is Flow of Wisdom
It's
TV.
called Flawed Wisdom TV.
Flow of
Hold on,
Wisdom.
let me write that down real quick. If y'all didn't catch that, that is Flow of Wisdom TV. Go check out Sean Anthony because the brother is really powerful.
Yeah, that's just the platform for my syndicated radio show that I host
Okay.
weekly. And what that is just a platform to post my shows without the commercials.
So, like the podcast, kind of like what we're doing a little bit, but we're just showing my friends on Facebook, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, well, it's the edited version. The show it broadcasts live on radio stations across the country, and what we'll do is we'll take the show, download it, and take out, like I said, the commercials, and then put it up on YouTube for people to check it out.
If you're just now joining me, I'm sitting here interviewing with Sean Anthony, who's one of the Ohio Media School instructors. We'll be right back after this commercial break.